Ladies and gentlemen, baby, we are about to begin. Buckle up! Buckle up! Let's get the party started. Ooh. This stream is going to be the best we've ever done! You ready? Baby. Let's go! Get ready. We will be starting shortly. Woo! Baby. Corrupted? Are you ready to get corrupted with electric guitar? Ladies, gentlemen, are you ready? Woo! What's happening? Happy weekend! Happy Saturday! Happy Sunday! Baby! We are ready to go! Yeah! Woo! Let's go! Yoo-hoo! I'm so ready to go. Whoa! What happened to my music? Antoinette! We were just dancing to this. My assistant just changed the song again. What's happening? How are you doing? You, yes, you. Sitting there, playing with the monsters. That's right. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an athletic stream. This is not one of those streams that you know, be like, I'm a classical guitar player. I'm just gonna sit there with my dumb-looking guitar. This is an electric guitar stream. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. This is the real deal. We got energy. Electric guitar players got swag, energy, athleticism. Unlike these classical guitar player hobos. Okay? Okay? Keep that in mind. We got everything ready. We got the items on the stream ready. We got the docket ready. We got the fish ready. Everything is ready to go for absolute mayhem and athleticism in this. So, if you're one of the select few who got the energy, who got what it takes, who got the guts, the cojones, if you're one of those people, you got what it takes. Oh, baby, you're gonna have a good time on the stream today. You know why? Because on the stream today, we got one heck, I'm telling you, of a docket. First, we're gonna talk about the guitar pedal that was made in honor of Jeffrey Epstein. I guess it's the Epstein pedal, and this is not clickbait, by the way. This is in literal term. You'll see it when you see it in a second. It is an Epstein guitar pedal, and we're going to talk about that first, obviously with what's going on around the world. Then we are going to be talking about a Suhr limited edition Telecaster model. Suhr guitars, pretty big deal. I like him. And I want to talk about those a little. Then we're going to talk about the Guitar Center's new AI model that is kind of hitting the market and people are starting to slowly use them. Let's talk about those. Then I'm going to tell you a very little kind of brief, nice story from Ozzy Osbourne. We're going to talk about a little bit tariffs and how it's going to impact the guitar prices, okay? Because our focus is guitar. We're not interested in all the boring stuff in politics, okay? We just want to do guitars. Then, briefly, we're going to touch a new PRS guitar, talk about bunch of other stuff, and then take it from there, okay? Okay, so, if you are ready, let us get the party started. How does that sound? So, now, before we start, I just need feedback from both YouTube and I need feedback from Twitch. Feedback from YouTube and Twitch, please. I need to know whether the volume of the backing track right now is good, if it's too loud, if it's too little. Tell me. Twitchies, YouTubies, tell me. Is this a good amount of volume or no? I'll take it as a yes. Is this good? Yes. Alrighty. Okay, cool. With that being said, let's get the party started. Now, I'm gonna change our docket a little bit, the ordering of what I said, okay? I'm just gonna do it a little because I think we have to talk about something else quickly first. So, with that being said, this guitar. Oh my goodness. This is this Ibanez guitar I wanted to show you guys for the past 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm not lying. I wanted to show you this, but for some reason, never got to be able to actually talk about it with you guys because we had like a whole bunch of other items coming on the docket and it's just never happened, I guess, right? So, with that being said, let's have a look at it. So, this is the guitar that came out over a month ago, perhaps. And again, like I said, I wanted to talk about this for like 3 weeks, and I couldn't. It is an RGA Premium Ibanez model. Now, right off the bat, how good this thing looks. This looks insane, by the way. I really, really dig the green and brown on it. It's a very manly color, I would say. Designed to inspire. All Ibanez Premium series are manufactured with select tone woods, high-profile electronics, hardware, and dedicated skills of craftsmanship and care in details for your musical journey. The richness of sound, stunning appearance, and unrivaled playability of the Ibanez Premium series will open the gate of your reservoir of inspiration. Reservoir of inspiration, huh? Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about. The Cosmic Blue Burst Low Gloss. Okay. Right off the bat, few features we see. So obviously this is a neck through body, so this is how funny how I put my cursor on it, it disappears. But if you have a look at the neck goes through the body and then the two horns come in like on either side, like two wings, and that makes the body of the guitar. So this is a neck through body, and usually neck through guitars are more expensive to build, more expensive to maintain and fix, but they've got better sustain. Now, obviously, sustain is a multi-factor thing. It's not just one factor that contributes to sustain. There's a whole bunch of others, but it's one contributing factor, and it's a good thing. I love the look of it. I love the extra sustain. Don't mind it at all. Then, if you have a look at here, you can see that this neck is a multiply neck. You can see those rods in the middle. So basically, you've got like multiple lines of wood with reinforcing carbon. I suppose those are carbon. I don't know what they are. Walnut, carbons, or something of other material there in the middle. And then you sort of glue them together, and then you carve your neck out, and that makes your neck even more stable. So already, I'm a fan of the neck of this guitar. Not gonna lie. But hold on, this is not a neck through. Hold on, I might have gave you an incorrect info. This doesn't look like a neck through guitar. This is actually a joint. Yeah, that's a neck body joint. Never mind, I'll take back what I said. They made it look at these cheeky bastardos in Ibanez. They make it look like it's a neck through guitar. It's not. See that? It actually has screws there. That's a bolt-on neck. I'll take back what I said. Because that doesn't make sense. You can't have a multiple... Jesus Christ. Okay. Ibanez, what have you done? Is this actually a neck through? Neck type. 5-piece maple walnut. Told you it's either walnut or carbon. That's walnut. Yeah. 5-piece maple walnut neck. Poplar burl. Maple. Top back body. American basswood body. There we go. Ebony fretboard. Jumbo stainless steel frets. 24 frets. Edge bridge. DiMarzio pickups. And locking nut, obviously. Right. Now, the radius of the neck is 400 millimeters. How does that translate to inches? I wonder. Hold on. We want to see how does that translate to inches. Give me a second. That'll be 16 inches. That's a 16-inch neck radius. So it's relatively flat. It's really close to being very, very flat. And it's not a surprise at all, because this is a shredder guitar, basically. This is not a, you know, non-shredder guitar, I guess. So yeah, here we go. And these are your pickup configs. Neck, between neck and middle, next, and then the bridge. And you've got mode. Push-up selector with the tone, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but this was a guitar I wanted to bring up because, again, it kind of gets you, right? It surprises you. This looks every bit like a neck-through guitar, but it's not. We've got, I just got fooled here, okay? I'll be honest with you guys. Because like, I'll show you guys, for those who don't know, let me show you why I was fooled. Hold on. I'll show you guys an image of a neck-through guitar. And then you guys will know exactly why I fell for that. Okay, hold on. So, this is such a good illustration. Hold on. This is a great illustration. So, here we go. Can you guys see this? So, this is basically 3 types of neck on electric guitars, right? You got the bolt-on neck, which is where your neck is screwed to your body. You got your set neck, where your neck is glued to the body. And then you got the neck through, which the neck and the middle of your body, of the guitar's body, are made out of one piece of wood. See that? So if you look at like something like this, this is like how it looks like. That's a very good representation of how it looks like, right? When I first saw this, I thought, it is a neck through. And I could not have been more wrong about it, huh? Because this is not a neck through. This is a bolt-on guitar. This is unacceptable, I think. I think you shouldn't be allowed to make a bolt-on guitar looking like this, because that's going to fool people. Suhr, what's happening, baby? Hello. He says, hey, not really in the mood today. Why is the background music so loud? Is it loud? Oh, thanks for the feedback. Hold on. Let me reduce the volume a little. See, I asked for feedback, but nobody gave me feedback. Is this any better? Tell me. Glad to see you figured out it is bolt on. I wasn't going to correct you. Thanks for that. No, correct me. Like, if you hear me say something wrong, correct me, because I'm not like, end all be all know all of electric guitars. So when you correct me, I learned something. So if I say something wrong, feel free to correct me. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to learn. So yeah, I was like, what? It should be illegal to make a guitar looking like this, right? If your guitar is bolt-on, I'm just saying. Ay, ay, ay. On a weekend. How you doing, by the way? Why aren't you in a good mood? What's going on? What happened today? You should be like, even if you're not feeling athletic, we should make you feel athletic, okay? We should make you feel like picking up the guitar and then just playing the best riff you've ever played. Athleticism is what I'm talking about. Just tired. Working a new second part-time job. Yeah, I get it. Okay. I'm with you now. Yeah, right. It is tiring, eh? How do you get the energy after your day job ends? I'll tell you. Hold on. Let me stop the music for a second. I'm going to stop the music and I'm going to make it very, very personal. Like, very, very personal, okay? Are you ready for it? Here's how I get my energy. I have a morning routine. Okay? I follow this every morning. It is like a very advanced biohacking routine, okay? I wake up every morning. I eat a jabalaba salad. And then I stare into my image in the mirror for 45 minutes. Just stare into the mirror for 45 minutes straight without blinking, like this. No blinking. If you can't do that, Suhr, the jabalaba salad, and then the staring contest with yourself, 45 minutes, stare into the mirror and admire what you see, okay? That's what I do. I just, have the salad and then look into the mirror for 45 minutes and I'm like, just admire the beautiful view that is in front of me. And if you do that every morning, you'll be okay. You can work 4 jobs, in fact. Okay? You can work 4 jobs and then run a campaign for this year's mayoral election or something. All the good stuff you hear out of New York, okay? Gotta love yourself. That's right. That's what Justin Bieber said. No matter what happens, you gotta love yourself. And as we all know, whatever he says, it's Can I tell you something though? Jokes aside. I know how it feels like, because ever since I left home, so I left home when I was 17. I left my parents' house when I was 17. I had to. Ever since then, and then I moved to Australia after, and ever since then, I always had 2 engagements of some sort. So, for example, you study in the college, and studied in the college and had a part-time job, and then got a full-time job, still had a second job next to it, which was part-time or casual, and now got a full-time job and dedicated my life to guitar after. So I know how it feels like, man. I know the feeling of sitting in the bus between jobs and falling asleep and just waking up, and then falling asleep and waking up as the bus goes around the city to get you to your next job. I get how it feels like. So hats off to you. Hats off to you. You know why? You know why hats off to you? Because you decided to do something about it, right? So about it, and by it I mean what? You decided to get a second job for a reason, right? there was a reason that you got that second job. And the problem that you're trying to solve with the second job, you're going to solve it by getting that extra job and working hard. And for that, I respect you a lot. And another friend of mine, funny enough, not trying to inspire you. Inspire is like when you haven't done anything, and you're sitting there, you're tired, you're crying, you're worried about becoming a classical guitar player, right? Then I have to come in and be like, look, let me inspire you to become something different, right? Like, let me inspire you to burn that classical guitar, pick up a nice PRS and play with it. And sometimes, in life, your guitar might feel like a little heavy, but you pick it up and you go on, right? That will be inspiring. But you're already doing it. And I'm not going to lie, about a month ago, maybe, a friend of mine who recently got a baby with his wife, he's had to start to work a second job. And working that second job, obviously, financially helps them for the future of the kid. But takes his time away from his daughter. But he had to make that sacrifice to make sure his wife and daughter are doing well. And I told him exactly what I'm telling you now. Like, I respect it. Keep at it. And there will be a time where all of this is over and you get to enjoy the shut eye. So, hats off to you, bud. Hats off to you. I mean it. And I've been there myself, too. I kind of am myself here now. Like, full-time day job and then full-time guitar. It's 80 hours a week. And then look into my eyes, like you can see it in terms of how my sleep is going right now. There will be a time all of us are gonna just laugh at these days, dude. Just laugh at these days and be like, ooh, baby. Yeah. So with that being said, I send you all the love in the world, like this. And hope that you go through it, dude. But I get it. I swear to God, the moment you said the second job, I remembered all those days, all those evenings where I'm going between the jobs and I'm falling asleep in the bus and the bus goes through a bump in the street or whatever. And I go, oh, all right, cool. Let's go. Ay, indeed. All right, so let us go and finish the look on this. Okay, so on this guitar, on this rather beautiful looking guitar that foolishly look like it's a neck through, but it's not. Gig bag included, Goto machine heads. It has the dyno switching system, and my favorite part of the other features is the lumen lay. I like lumen lays. Yeah, so that is the 5-piece neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see that. Jumbo stainless steel frets with premium fret edge treatment. So that's that. See the roundness of the fret on the edges? That treatment, probably, it's safe to say that it's like something as neat as that is only in premium guitars, because that takes a lot of effort. And by the way, if your guitar is not like that or is a little edgy, you can actually do it at home so easily. Like, you can just buy a kit from Amazon for like 20 bucks and just fix all your sharp edges of your guitar at home. It's not a hard thing to do at all. Like, it takes like 5 minutes for you to do it at home. No? No, what, Zuhair? What do you mean by no? I don't know. And to which part of what I said you said no. So you got to tell me. But it's easy to do at home. It might not be as neat as this beautifully rounded edges, but if you get like the tool to do it, you can actually do it at home. And usually the guitars that, like, I had a guitar, I'm not gonna name the brand, but it might be the same brand as this guitar brand, okay? But it was the cheaper version of it. It was the more affordable version, and on the bottom side of the neck, some frets were a little sharp, and I just had to get that, do a little bit of that filing, and then fix the problem. You don't see the above. You don't see the part I said above, no? There was another comment you made. Sorry, dude. I might have. No, I saw it now. I saw it now. Sorry, I'm a half asleep. Half asleep here too. So I thought for neck throughs, the neck is part of the entire body and not the middle portion. No, so the neck, for a neck through guitar, the neck is the middle of the body, and then the two horns on either side come in and get glued to it. Right? Like this, I'll show you. There's this beautiful diagram I saw the other day. Hold on. Neck through guitar. Let me show you what I mean by this. There was like this most beautiful drawing ever. I mean, this does the job, I guess. It's this. See that? That's your neck all the way in the middle. And then the two wings on either side come in and get glued to it. Right. There we go. This is the drawing. That's the one. So either looks like that, or it's just straight. Yeah. And they have like things like this, like with all these shapes and dips and valleys and all that. Like, you know, the topography here, whatever this is, whatever technical term that has, for like extra stability, or just aesthetics, I guess. But that's basically the bottom line of it, right? And always with these kind of guitars, as you can see, the string holes, if it's like a string through guitar, so it's not like just directly on the bridge itself and all of that is on that middle. Obviously, the middle of wood is heavily involved in it, obviously, but it's important to just keep in mind like the amount of like tension when it comes to building guitars like that. But that's how it looks like, and that's how I got fooled by that Ibanez guitar. Like, this kind of looks like, could you believe it? Imagine if this bit here wasn't even the part, it was just a veneer, which it could very well be. It's increasingly looking like veneers to me. No, it's not. Like, you can see the side wood from here, right? Like, you can see the side of it here, so probably not, but boy did I boy did I get punked here. Hold on. So don't tell me this is a veneer, dude. No, you can see the piece of wood here. You can see that in that carve. Yeah, I don't think it's a veneer. I think it's actual piece of wood there on that strip. That middle part makes it look classy, like you need to play the guitar and then have coffee while sitting in the library. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like, especially the green one, this one. It's such a masculine color, for lack of a better word. Like dark green and brown. It's like a classy masculine color. Like, you see these kind of colors in like Italian suits. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, I completely agree with that assessment. Yeah, and then the lumen lays and then all that other jazz. Anyways, enough about that guitar. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Now, okay, like, I'm just gonna do a quick disclaimer before we go to the next bit. This stream is called The Guitar Angle because we're interested in things from a guitar angle, okay? And I know some people might find this very complicated, right? Some people got the athleticism. Millions of people watch the stream. Out of that million, 2 people might not be fully athletic, okay? But, you know, those who are smart, those who are got the athleticism, those who are not classical guitar players, they understand what I'm about to say. The interest that we have in anything on the stream is from a guitar angle, okay? This angle, that angle, guitar angle, okay? All right. So the next item on the docket that I want to talk about, it's going to be a little touchy, okay? It's going to be a little pokey, a little outragey, like, but then what I don't want you guys to do is to just warm up like that, whatever, however you warm up and stretch, and then turn the caps lock on and then have it go. Okay? I don't want to see that. Because it's going to be a little edgy. But remember guitar angle, okay? So, the next item on the docket is this peculiar guitar pedal that I saw the other day. And I thought, my gosh, not even the guitar world is is safe from this. So, yeah, check this out. Hold on, I should have used a different transition. That love transition wasn't really good. Hold on, let me go back to the look at me view, and then we'll do an appropriate transition to that scene. Okay, ready? Okay, that's a bit more appropriate. Okay. So there was this company called Acorn, and they decided that it's a good idea to do a pedal like this. It is a fuzz pedal. Before we even, let's just read the description before I even get to that. Send the security guards to bed and turn up to 11. The Epstein didn't kill himself fuzz isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a real fuzz pedal. Like, these guys are just monetizing the heck out of the news, huh? The Epstein didn't kill himself fuzz is a 3-transistor silicon fuzz pedal. Erase footage. And by erase footage, they're referring to this knob here. Hold on, do you want me to make it bigger? See that? Erase footage is this knob. What it does, it controls the overall signal volume of the effect. Fuzzy recollection, which is this knob. Fuzzy recollection controls the amount of fuzz sweeping between slightly gritty boost all the way to heavy fuzz crunch. The security camera toggle, so that's the security camera on or off, allows you to keep the NT illuminated letters in didn't, always on, or switchable with the bypass of the effect. It's this. True bypass run on 9-volt pedal power consumes less than 30 milliamp of the current. So, are they sold out yet? Can I buy one? I don't mind buying one. Yeah. All right, let's hear it. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me pause the background music. Let's hear it, shall we? Okay. I was never a biggest fan of fuzz, to be honest with you. Like between fuzz pedals, overdrive pedals, and distortion pedals, distortion was always my favorite. But I gotta tell you, that's a smart design. And then that is a smart design. What is fuzz? What exactly is fuzz? Here, listen to it. That's no fuzz. That's fuzz. Dirty distortion, dirty overdrive, whatever you want to call it. Anything the opposite of tight. I may be wrong here, but the difference between like a normal fuzz pedal and like other distortion pedals, if I'm not wrong, is in how it creates the overtones of your guitar. So when you got a distortion, when you turn on distortion, right? Like, have you ever asked yourself what happens when you switch on to distortion? Obviously, you know, there's a change in your volume, there's a change in the nature of the sound that comes out of your guitar. But one of the things that happens with distortion when you turn the distortion pedal on, or when you put your amp on distortion mode, what happens is that a lot of overtones get created in the final sound, right? And what I mean by that is that overtones are basically multiples of your original note frequency, right? So for example, let's just say you play the 440 hertz A, the note A, right? So it's 440 hertz. That's the frequency of the note. Now, overtones are basically multiples of your note frequency that they get played at the same time that you played a note when you're on a distortion mode. So 440, then 880, then 1320, and so on and so forth. And all of these frequencies, basically the multiples, these overtones, get added to the original frequency of your sound, right? Now, the interesting part about it, and this is the reason why distortions differ from one to the other, is that the response of these frequencies are not the same to changes in the way you play, right? How quickly they get louder or not. How quickly they open up. Like, you guys familiar with the concept of bloom in your guitar, right? If you're not familiar with the concept of bloom, or breathing of the note, for lack of a better word, or opening up, put your guitar in a mild overdrive, like your amp, and then play a chord. And then what you hear when you play that chord is like initial chord sound, and then there is this like, and then it disappears, it fades away. That is the opening. You can clearly hear it if you do that. So if you haven't tried it at home, pick up your guitar, do that, but just make sure you're not too distorted, like a little bit of a crunch. That's all you need to hear it, right? And that is because all of these overtones don't act the same way. The changes in the volume and the changes in how they behave is non-linear, and they're not the same. And that's why you get all of these different flavors in that sound. So it says, I get this pedal was designed after that horrible individual who did horrible things, but I don't get the point of it. The point of it is to just make your guitar sound dirty and fuzzy. And the other point of it is to sell a lot. I mean, this thing is clearly on the news, right? And it's on everyone's mind, left and right and center. And so it's just what I found hilarious about it was the fact that, like, you know, hype and attention. Exactly. Hype was the word I was looking for. Yeah. Is really right in the hype. Ciroc Obama says, where do I buy that? First of all, what a name to join the discussion. Like, thank God it's Ciroc Obama and not Ciroc Clinton, okay? I'm just going to put it out there. Where can you buy it? I would suspect the Acorn website. So Acorn Amplification is actually the company. It's this. Acornamps.com, for those who don't know. And they've got a whole bunch of like crazy looking pedals and that. Like they do a lot of these stuff, like anime pedals, weird drawing on pedals. They got amps as well. But yeah, it's pretty smart. Like riding that hype is pretty smart. Is that the one? No, never mind. Sorry. That's the wrong video. This was the video we were looking for. Yeah. But yeah, I thought maybe I'll share it with everybody here. And yeah. Hope you enjoy it. A lot of pedal board guys see their pedal boards as a way to be artistic, I feel sometimes, said Ciroc. You're right. You're absolutely right. Artistic and also unique, right? You see a lot of, I guess, in a lot of ways like amps, right? You see a lot of people make the stuff in pedals, make their pedals in garages and sell it. They're not like mass-produced stuff, and a lot of guitarists buy it and for just the unique sound. You know who does that a lot? Like one of the very prominent guitar players that does it? Mick Thompson. Mick Thompson's pedal board, if you guys check, so Mick Thompson's, for those who don't know, guys, it's he's one of the guitarists in Slipknot, right? And his tone has always been mean. But a couple of the pedals that he got are just like custom-made pedals. Not even custom-made. It's just like a small builder built them, and then he used it and he liked it and he's using it now, and then he gets this unique output. So yeah, that's the thing. Hey Jess, how are you? Jess from Twitch. How you doing? Can I say something? And Ciroc, you may not have been in that discussion in the older streams that we had about this, and I know Suhr was there. You know, you got all these pedals and everything else, and that's great. I don't know how long these things are going to be as useful as they are, considering the fact that we have things like Neural DSP's Quad Cortex. You know. I don't know, like the convenience of having one unit to carry it around and to have one unit at home. How much space you save and how much everything is just going to be right there. I don't know. But then again, in a way, the counter to that, I guess, is that right now everybody sounds the same because everyone's using the same plugins and everyone's using the same pedals. And so you get something out of that world, you're going to sound a little different and unique because everyone right now sounds the same on Instagram. I have a Fractal FM3. Ah, heck yes. I think Guthrie uses that. Guthrie toured with it at some point. Have fun, pedal board guys. Kyle from the band Vitriol has an insane pedal board. Says he wants to have all the options amp modeler users have. Guy is a nut though. Yeah, no, it can't get out of hand. Look, gear acquisition syndrome, also known as GAS, is a real thing. And it is real, as you can probably see from my background. And so it's not like you guys got gas and I don't. No. No. I have absolutely no moral authority on this whatsoever, because I got gas too. But yeah, with pedals, I don't know, man. I literally only right now got one pedal and then one multi-effects. And that one pedal is like a distortion pedal that I don't use it for distortion. I just use it to tighten the low end a little. So there's hardly any gain in that pedal. But yeah, that was the Epstein pedal. And by the way, this is not a sponsored stream, okay? So I'm not sponsored by Acorn Amplifications. But yeah, hope you guys Hope you guys enjoyed that pedal. All right, let's go to the next item on the docket. And this particular guitar that I wanted to talk to you guys about is a brand. The brand is not that often talked about, but they're really good. They're a really good, like a real deal guitar building brand. So let's have a look at this guitar. You guys heard of Surh? So for those who don't know, Surh is sort of this boutique brand. Their shtick is to bring, you know, boutique with modern, you know, mix boutique with modern and playability. That's their whole mission statement, I guess. But it's a high quality guitar brand, Surh. It was made by it was founded by John Suhr in 1999, I think, or 2000, around that time. And over the past 20 something years, they've been at the forefront of producing quality guitars. Matteo Assato, the Brazilian guitar virtuoso, for example, has a signature Telecaster. So they're basically, master built stuff like, Surh says, it's a Surh master built guitar from a factory that has zero QC issues. John Suhr is the master. Exactly right. Look, I always said there's two companies right now that produce flawless guitars in terms of like quality control issues or anything of that nature. One is Surh, the other one's PRS. These two companies are just are so meticulous in the way that they produce their guitars. It's insane. So that's the guitar I want to talk to you guys about. So the reason I brought it up is because Andy Wood, so he plays a lot of country music, had this signature guitar. And then this one is the 10-year anniversary, the red one. And the orange one are the 10-year anniversary guitars. So this one and that one. So by the way, this one is like inspired by Ferrari. This one's inspired by Lambo, the color. The notable thing about these two guitars is the fact that the pick guard is made out of carbon fiber. See that? Let me move myself. Actually, no, you can't see it. I'm going to move myself here. And then I'm going to do this. See that? See the pick guard? It's made out of carbon fiber. Now, Sweetwater's photo sucks because they literally took the photo out of a product with the plastic wrapper on the pick guard. But if it didn't exist there, it would have looked a lot better. Is the carbon fiber for grip? Or no, I don't think the carbon fiber is for grip. I've got a guitar that is made of carbon fiber, though it might be a different carbon fiber material because there are different types. This guitar is very race car inspired. It's just very race car inspired, and they found a strong but light plate. I think that's all it is. Is it scratch proof? I don't know. Here's what I know about carbon fiber. So the way carbon fiber is made is basically, you got these fibers of carbon, obviously, right? You know, you create a sheet, and then you create another sheet on top of it, and those fibers are going to go intertwined like that. And then you fill the gap between those fibers with some sort of epoxy, and then you compress it. You press it, dry it, whatever that process is, right? The outcome of that process is a material, a carbon fiber material, that has a very strong strength to weight ratio. A very, very high strength to weight ratio. In fact, one of the reasons that a lot of manufacturers initially start testing building carbon fiber guitars and then they stopped doing it was because the guitar was becoming so light in its weight that it would feel like a cheap toy. It wouldn't feel right for a lot of players, so they wouldn't build it. That's the thing, right? So that's the thing with carbon fiber. One thing I don't like, one suggestion I always had, and I'll show you guys. So PRS, for example, have this new Gen 3 tuning pegs on their guitars, and the wing is some sort of a plastic material. And I always thought it would be a great idea to use carbon fiber in the wing of the tuning pegs, because it's light and it's resonant enough, and it's strong. So that's the thing. Suhr says, could I cut my nails then even them out? Could I cut my nails then even them out on scratching on that carbon fiber? You could. My question is, would you do that to your guitar? Especially if the guitar is $4,300. Would you want to do that? Do it if that works. If that's your thing, by all means. Look, if that's how you roll, you know, by all means go for it. If I buy a guitar for $4,300, I'll be all over it like this. Like, where's my cloth? I'll be all over it like. That's what I'll be doing. But, you know, we can. In fact, we'll ask Surh to make a built-on nail clipper on it for you then. Random crazy thought? No, well, random crazy is good. Planned crazy is where it becomes a problem. That's when we call you the Joker. But random crazy is fantastic. Xerox says, yeah, I wish I had that low, especially this whammy that never goes out of tune. Yeah. Hey, at least they aren't Ricktone prices. Look, that's a lot of money. $4,300, okay? Now, let's check out how it sounds like. Because that guitar sounds pretty alright. It looks to me, because the pickups are also Surh pickups. It looks to me like the way they built the guitar, the pickups, the way they created the pickups, what they wanted to have was something very versatile. So yeah, check this out. Actually, let me shrink the size of this thing. My apologies, because I made it bigger for us to see the Epstein stuff. Let me shrink it a little. Here we go. All right, let's check this out.
Hello, music lovers. Andy Wood here in lovely...
Doesn't sound bad, right? Doesn't sound bad at all.
Menace. This is my 10-year anniversary model with Surh. You guys have probably seen me playing over the course of my career that black with silver original prototype. That was the modern tee. That was the first modern tee ever made. It was fabricated. It was a complete one-off idea that I had, blending the classic T shape and John Surh's model, the modern, because of the heel joint that I thought was so cool. And so the original one kind of had this muscle car, rat rod kind of vibe with the flat black and the brushed aluminum. So I thought the natural evolution in automotive history would be to end up with the exotics.
So this is, the guy loves cars so much that he made his signature, their first signature guitar, trying to make it look like cars and car plates. Like old school. And then we're like, all right, well, now that we've done the 1945 Volkswagen, let's have a Ferrari and Lamborghini. Like, that was the thought process from the looks of it. Suhr says, yeah, this color makes me think of blood and murder and horror movies, but sounds good. It does sound good. Yeah, I like the orange better too. Yeah. Sirach says, I've always wanted to check out a Surh amp. Yeah, I've never had one. Never played with one either. I've seen them all over the internet, but I've never had one either. I'd be keen to see how they sound like in person. I hear you. Me too. Yeah. Achieved the fine result, I must say. Yeah. Colored his guitar red with leftover paint. He colored his sports car with or something. Yeah, it could very likely be the case. Mind you, can I tell you guys something though? You guys not, there is this crazy copyright, what do you call it? Trademark rather, on colors. Like, you know how when you go to your paint applications and each color has like a color code? Like hashtag 01FF5B, whatever, right? Some of these actually got a trademark. So one of the, I forgot which guitar brand it was, which guitar company it was, but they had this like blackest black color. Like it's a black color on the spectrum that absorbs the most light, right? So it's like the darkest black ever. And they trademarked it. And nobody else was able to use it. Yeah. Brad Gillis did that thing. Right. Not Andy Wood. Okay. Yeah. Now Steve Vai got a lot of those guitars. Steve Vai got a guitar that has his blood in it. Literally, like it mixes blood with colors and whatever not, and the outcome was like the end result was gross, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. Well, there was something like there was like the blackest black ever, and they trademarked it, and nobody else was able to use it. Yeah. Suhr says, I don't like Steve Vai's guitar with that suitcase handle carved out. What do you guys think of that? Oh, the Jem? Wide Ibanez with handle out? Yeah. So Jem, Suhr, I'll show it after this. Let's check it out after this. I actually had one. I sold it. But I'll tell you. Let's have a look at this and we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah.
With the exotics. So that's where we end up with these colors, the carbon fiber, all the things that I'm going to talk to you about. We're offering 2 colors, and that is the only option you get. We decided to do just 100 units of each. So super rare, hyper custom, one-off deal. Let's talk about some of the specs.
It is super rare. It's not hyper custom, by the way. Hyper custom means custom to your needs. Means there's customized, you can customize it like what Kiesel does. Or what Aristides does. This is not super custom.
With the aesthetic first, the only option you get is to choose the Ferrari-inspired Rosso Corsa red or the Lamborghini-inspired Arancia Borealis orange. So each guitar comes with the following specs. Carbon fiber pickguard is really the kind of the coolest thing about the guitar. This is actually carbon fiber. So as you turn it, you can see the weave. This material is really popular in a lot of top-end sports cars. And with that you had to get pickup covers to match the vibe. So
match the vibes, but not the colors. I wonder what would happen if they made the pickup covers like with carbon fiber. I wonder. How would that make the difference there? Yeah, he should have totally made a dark green one. Wow, slime green. Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of sports car got that color.
The vibe. So the pickup covers are kind of a black, like an oiled kind of finish that looks similar to like the exhaust of a car.
Satin?
Black hardware, the same neck shape and radius as my standard Andy Wood models, but this has an ebony fretboard with lumile side markers.
Yes.
Being a guy that plays a lot of country music, I look for that traditional Nashville Tele kind of sound, but I also love humbuckers. So oftentimes I find myself being on one guitar in one song, having to cover a couple of different sounds.
So coil splits?
So let's go through the switching system and we'll take a look starting with that.
By the way, notice how the pickup selectors and the electronics down there is an exact replica of like Fender switch system. Right. They haven't made anything. Because, for example, you have like Schecter or other brands that do T-shaped guitars. But, you know, and there was a variation between what they do, what they produce for versus what's in Fender. But if I go where there was this shot when they zoomed in on it. I'll see if I can find it. Even the plastic head of the pickup selector is like a Fender one here.
Black hardware.
See that? And I know this really well because I've replaced a few. In some of the guitars, previous old like Telecasters that I sold. You can literally buy them for like $10 and just put it on it. But like it's exactly the same as that from the looks of it. Yeah.
Now, channel. Now, when I pull the tone knob up, it will take that bridge humbucker and put it series parallel. I'll start with it down, and then I'll pull it up.
There we go. That's your single coil. Yeah. Surh says the guy worked all... I heard Brad Gillis from Night Ranger say that if you aren't getting enough gain out of your pickup, go ahead and file it down. The guy worked on all his stuff, performed with Ozzy in an insane set. I think he might be telling the truth. Yeah, could. I don't know this guy too well. Andy Wood. Country, yes. Pop country. Bluegrass. Bluegrass is the world. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah.
Most coils kind of gives you that quacky classic.
Give me the neck. I want to hear the neck.
Kind of.
That's that like for a country guitar. Now
in the middle position, kind of a classic jangly, both humbuckers just on.
If the guitar sounds like a banjo, it's probably bluegrass. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
The AT mod.
I want to hear the neck. I want to hear the neck pickup.
And then, of course, if I go into the neck position, it will be a classic neck humbucker sound that can be kind of jazzy.
That sounds good. Not gonna lie.
Or it can be like a really nice silky lead tone.
I really like the neck pickup sound. Oof. Nice. Oh, this is really good. This is really good. If the guitar sounds like an idiot, no, I recently discovered that. I tried to do a scale one time on a banjo and was quickly humbled back to the guitar. Yeah, well, it's a 5-string instrument. I don't know the tuning of a banjo, by the way. How does the tuning of that instrument look like? Is it like starts from the note A, like our 5th string? I don't think so. Yeah, neither do I, dude. I don't even know. I don't know what's going on in a banjo. I just know that I think, and I may be wrong, it has a 5th string, and the tuner of that 5th string is weirdly located. I have no idea. Right, okay.
Year anniversary.
But yeah, that's the guitar. Now, looking at the features of it, check this out. So, this guitar is I thought it was an alder. Oh no, it's swamp ash, my bad. So it has a swamp ash body with a gloss finish and a roasted maple neck carved into an elliptical shape. 24 jumbo size stainless steel fret, 16-inch radius again. So this is like sits on the flatter side when it comes to the fretboard radius. And then the pickups are Alnico 2. Woodbucker pickups yield an ear-grabbing cocktail of warmth, articulation, and definition. I really, really, really liked the neck pickup sound. I really digged it. So yeah, I mean, a bit pricey for $4,300, but yeah, no, that's a very pleasant sounding guitar, I gotta say. Now, two things. Let's have a quick look at a banjo, because let's have a quick look at a banjo for a second. Hold on. Banjo. Because I thought there was a fifth string with a weird tuner, didn't it? Yeah, no, I was right. Hold on. So that's a fourth. That's a 4-string banjo. So like, where's the fifth one? There we go. That's the one I'm talking about. See that? So that the tuner of that thing, I'm guessing that's a tuner, is like there in the middle somewhere. And that's the weirdest thing ever to me. Like, why would you like start your string like halfway through the neck? Sirach says, "Is that the pickup or that sweet Surh amp?" Like, you have a point. I gotta say, it could very well be the amp too. No question about it. No, I agree with you. You're really salivating that amp, aren't you? Yeah. That's the one I tried to play when I seen that tuner in the middle. I'm like, what's going on? This is above my pay grade. Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Like, that's just a confusing thing. So banjo tuning. How does the tuning work for a 5-string? No, not app. Just tuning. How does that work? G D G B D. Wow. Okay. So this has absolutely nothing to do with the guitar tuning. Like, it's just completely detached. Okay, so this is how it looks like. This is a good diagram. Look at that. The neck literally carves up that way. Like, see that? It's like thinner and then becomes thicker. Why would you do that? Ay. Okay. Are there other tunings on banjos or just that? Surely there's others too, like guitar, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, this is probably like the E standard tuning equivalent of banjo, I guess. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Sirach. Multiple tunings for everything. Yeah, in all likelihood. Right, because you just literally, change the knob and all that. And a lot of artists, for example, like in the metal world where I'm heavily invested, Mark Holcomb literally changes the guitar tuning so that he forces himself to come up with something new and not play with his finger memory, just to get inspired and extra creativity. Yeah. I was playing in DADGAD. That's a wild tuning, very, very inspiring though. Jimmy Page wrote Cashmere in it. Oh, okay. Celtic tuning. Right. Interesting. But yeah, that's a messed up tuning as a person who plays guitar. I don't know how I feel about it. That was that. And then the other one I said we're going to talk about in a second was what Suhr says, Ibanez Jem. Now, Suhr, this is the one you're talking about, I guess, because that's the one that is very well known with Steve Vai. However, the newer models has a different monkey grip. They call this the monkey grip. Suhr says, did you know some people say Celtic and not Celtic? now I'm casting doubt. Not now you're making me doubt my own pronunciation. Hold on. I gotta hold on. Give me a second, guys. This is getting out of hand. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Pronounce tick. Okay. Give me a second. So we are on the website of the American Pronunciation Guide, okay?
Continent, it spreads a lot more than people know. But the priests of the Celts, and the Celts are called
in Austria. The Greeks, the Romans, the Celts, a lot of
The Celts. It is Celtic.
the sky with the dawn.
Number 8. Gaelic. The Celts know how to confuse us outsiders with the strangest witch's brew of all.
Okay, so Celts, they call them. So is that Celtic?
Celtic,
It is Celtic.
Celtic,
Oh my God.
Celtic.
I've been. I've been pronouncing this word like like a jackass the whole time. Wow. Okay. Celtic? Really? Celtic or Celtic? The word Celtic, I guess now, can be pronounced with either K or soft S. Oh, thank God. Okay. The Celtic pronunciation is more common when referring to the ancient people, language, or culture, while Celtic is more frequently used when referring to the sports team, the Boston Celtics. That's what I like, Boston Celtics. Basketball, right? I mean, I've been a Lakers fan my whole life, but you know what I mean? All right. I'm sweating. Give me a second. This was a rough experience. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. Going back. Celtic? I had no idea. Okay. This Ibanez Jem, is that pronounced Jem, or are we gonna see? This is like when I'm at that spot where I'm now questioning everything I'm saying, like how I'm pronouncing things. Like, is it Ibanez or is it like Ibanez? So that is what Suhr was talking about. That he does not like the monkey grip. Sirach says United States sports more than reality, unfortunately, sometimes. Yeah, so true. So true. Sports does like excite people a lot, right? Football stole that from a sport where they use their feet. Don't get us started on that debate, dude. Don't get us started on that football versus soccer debate. Now, what I was about to say, this was what Suhr talked about in the middle of that Suhr video. So this monkey grip is actually the old monkey grip. The new monkey grip is not a grip at all. I'll show you what I mean. If I go to Ibanez Guitars, it looks like this. It's like something in the middle of it. See that? It's not a grip anymore. It's more like I don't know, two teardrops next to each other. I don't know what to call it. Now, when I had my Jem, So I had the yellow one. It was a Jem Junior, by the way. It wasn't a US made Jem. What I liked about it was that it was like a nice handle to literally carry the guitar and hold the guitar. So when I was jamming with some friends and we were like having a pause, you would, you know, take the strap off and just hold the guitar with the handle. So that was pretty useful. But also, it took some of the weight out of the guitar. So the guitar was actually a tad lighter. And that's what I liked about it. Yeah. But this is the new Ibanez. The old ones look more like this. Which is the one that I suspect you're not the biggest fan of. The thing that pained me about this guitar the most was the middle pickup. Through that guitar, deep within my bones, I realized that a guitar with a middle pickup is not for me. Nothing wrong with it. They're fantastic. It's just not for me. Because the way I pick, I constantly hit those. And I tried to lower that middle pickup a little bit. It was just always at the back of my head. Yeah. Suhr says, I must say, I think that the newer one, I think I like the newer one and still definitely don't like the older one. You're right. Yeah, so the newer one is not a handle anymore. It's just like it's just something to relieve the bit of a weight and make it look good, I guess. Surh says, why? What was up with it? The middle pickup? My pick was hitting it constantly, and I tried to lower it too, and I did. But then it was always at the back of my mind. The way I strummed, the way I tremolo. It was always hitting the middle pickup a little bit, and it was always at the back of my head even after I lowered it. But then also think about it, like there's only so far you can lower your pickup without losing volume, right? Yeah. Suhr says one problem can be the pick hits the middle. One problem can be the pick. Yeah, right. And I understand, like when you pick, you want to make sure only the tip of the pick, the very tip, is hitting the strings, and that's completely a valid point. But when you're standing, you're strumming, and you're moving around, yada yada, it's going to always have a little bit of a variance. Obviously, you're not going to go neck deep with your pick next to the string, right? But if your middle pickup is high, it becomes a pain. And then I lower it down, and then it was still at the back of my mind. I'm like, all right, that's it. This is not a fun experience. Steve Vai picks shallow. Yeah, he does. A lot of picking shallow is a good thing, right? So sometimes, like, we want to play like stuff like heavy metal and style of Lamb of God, where you do a lot of maneuvers on your bass strings, like that's where you mostly reside. So if you're constantly hitting your sixth string more than anything, that's not so much of a concern, right? But yeah. A lot of you know who plays crazily close? Pat Metheny. Pat Metheny, if you guys have seen him picking, he has a tiny small pick, so it's not like it's like this small. So this is like a tiny pick. This is a medium, just for your comparison. And obviously you got like bigger stuff like this, right? But he plays like with a very tiny pick, and like when you see him picking, it's just insane scary. And I can never do that because of the way I constantly play. It's like my nails, my fingertips constantly touch the screen if I do it that way. Yeah. Suhr says, yeah, it's like if you lower the point, you don't like how it sounds. Why have that middle pickup there anyways? Yeah. Yeah. Surh says, digging too deep is going to slow you down. 100%. For fast picking. Million times. 100%. Yeah, I look like Jazz 3 as well. Looks similar. There we go. Yes. Yeah. So no, it's good to play, with the correct technique. You don't want to go deep into, to that. It's just that for me, it was like, it was too high when I got it. And when you strum, not necessarily noodling with precision, when you strum and all that, just hits it. And I was like, all right, that's it. I don't want to see it there. Yeah, that's the Ibanez. But yeah. No more handle. Don't like the orange ones. Oh, really? I've never seen the orange ones. Hold on. Jazz. 3 picks. Orange. What? These ones, Suhr? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. Steve Vai has large hands. I bet he was picking behind the middle pickup. Good question. I don't know. Good point. Freakishly. I don't know. Is his hands like really large, or is he like too skinny and that's like an optical illusion? Because you know, if like when you're really skinny, everything with length is gonna look longer. Yeah. Yeah. You know whose fingers creep me out? Like when I see them play guitar? Buckethead. Buckethead, yeah, exactly. Sirach just said Buckethead. Yeah. I think we said it at the same time. Yeah. Buckethead has this like real spider looking fingers. It's crazy. Yeah. You guys, what I'm using right now is Ernie Ball Prodigy. The medium one, 2mm thick. That's the one I'm using right now. And I'm loving it. It's working for me really well. But yeah, that's the orange one. I've never seen the orange one before for some reason. I probably have seen it somewhere, but don't remember. Dunlop pickups are pretty good. I think I've got the what's his face? The Andy James one here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. This is the Andy James. It's in the same shape as the Jazz 3. Did I also have the John Petrucci one? I have a few here. But anyways. So that is that pickup. That looks huge. No, it's a normal standard size. Like a medium size pick. Yeah, it's like you don't want it too big, you don't want it too small, just want just the right size. You know what looks big? This looks big. This is big. Like if I put it next to the medium size pick. Here. See the difference? and I just bought it like when I bought this, and I've only bought them once. I only bought 1 pack. I had it back in my mind. I was like, I know I'm probably not gonna like it. But I've seen Darren Melikian from System of a Down play some, and I was like, all right, well let me just buy one and see what happens. Yeah. Suhr says, "What's that fish animation? I kind of like it, or is that a reflection? Yeah, that's like a fish animation for for us to have a fish on the street. So, fish." Sirach says, "I got some free gravity picks when I bought my comparison last year. They're pretty good picks, but they're so expensive. I don't understand." Was the gravity pick the ones that like go for $30 or something, and then you only buy one for the rest of your life? I think I heard of them. Is that those that they custom built you for like $30 or something? Gravity picks. No, I don't think it's those. Yeah. Nah. All right. Cool. All right. Shall we jump to the next item on the docket? I was keen to hear your thoughts on this. Have you guys heard of the the rig advisor. Before we do that, hold on. Surh says, they do sound like better when you aren't playing through an amp. Like your tone sounds a little bigger and louder. It's strange. Right. Yes, look, anything that touches the string is God when it comes to the tone of your guitar. So pick, nut, bridge, saddle, fret. Yeah. So yeah, there's this thing called Rig Advisor, and Guitar Center is basically deploying it. All right. Advisor or advisor? Is it with an O or an E? Let's let's just sort this out before we. You guys did that to me with the Celtic thing, and now I gotta double check everything comes out of my mouth. Like, is it advisor like with an O, or is it advisor with an E? Can we get some clarification on that, please? Is it advisor or is it advisor? We need some clarification, please. Like, we can't go through this stream mispronouncing it all the time. As far as I know, advisor and advisor both mean the same thing. Okay, you're good. All right. As long as we got that sorted. So we have this Guitar Center AI called the Rig Advisor. And what they're, selling it as is like having a professional gear consultant in the palm of your hand. Guitar Center introduces Rig Advisor, the guitar world's first ever AI shopping assistant, which is interesting. The reason I found it a little interesting was that I was literally in the middle of making a video on how to buy your first guitar for beginners. And it was funny that this came out. Rig Advisor leverages AI in a bid to enhance the in-store shopping experience. Okay. To enhance the in-store shopping experience. Not online. In-store. Okay. Guitar Center has ushered in a bold new era for its physical stores with a new innovation that leverages AI in a bid to blur the boundaries between online gear shopping and the physical store experience. Dubbed the first ever in-store AI shopping assistant in music retail, Guitar Center's new Rig Advisor has been described as a mobile-based tool that helps customers discover, compare, and explore gear in real time by prioritizing products available at the specific store location. What's more, it hopes to further enhance in-store experiences by offering a new, up-to-date way of navigating options and making more informed, confident decisions. So, it's an in-store thing, not an online thing. Which makes me wonder, is this something that they're, because the thing is, one of the feedbacks that that Guitar Center gets a lot is their in-store service, the knowledge of their staff, the friendliness, the customer service that they give you, And I remember I saw a video about the new CEO of Guitar Center, talking about potentially having like training courses and things of that nature. But this tackles that a little. I think there is a knowledge gap in Guitar Center staff knowledge and what's available at the store, like their knowledge of guitar. And I think this thing is going to fill that gap potentially. So that even the more fresh staff, like juniors who just joined the job, we just get the job, join the store, they can provide like accurate info to people right on the get-go. I think this is going to help like Guitar Center staff as much as it's going to help the customers. seems interesting, especially for people who aren't privy to all the gear out there. Yeah, exactly. And there's so much gear coming out now, it's pretty hard to follow it all. 100%. 100%. Not only just that, like, I'll give you this example. I know my guitars. I've bought a whole bunch of guitars, you know, and I like to think that I know my guitars. The first item that we covered on this on the stream today was this Ibanez guitar, and I genuinely thought it was a neck through guitar. It looks like a neck through guitar, and then shortly after I realized, no, it's actually bolt on. You can see the screws, and I got fooled. You know what I mean? Even as someone who's bought so many guitars and has played so many guitars, you know. Suhr says, that's fine. We just got to go and steal that in-store thing someday. That's all. Where were we? Yeah. So, Rig Advisor is like having a professional gear consultant in the palm of your hand, delivering lightning fast answers as you explore our music store, says Gabe, CEO of Guitar Center. It will turn our stores into tech-powered music hubs where creativity, curiosity, inspiration lead the way. Rig Advisor has clearly been in the works for some time, and when Dal Porto spoke to Guitar World earlier this year, he hinted at the possibility of bringing AI into Guitar Center stores and using it to further develop the in-store experience. It comes as a necessary and rather astute development from Dal Porto and Guitar Center, who are currently faced with fierce competition from Amazon, direct from factory retailers, and other digital rivals. What do we think about this? The thing is, and I understand that Guitar Center is competing with Sweetwater, Amazon, Reverb, and obviously companies like Fender and Gibson going direct, like they got their own stores now. What I've always said and what I've always encouraged everybody was to always go and buy the guitar in person, in store, so you get to play it and you know how it sounds and how it feels before you buy it, right? Go and play it in store, and then if you don't want to buy it in store, you know, go back home and then buy it from, you know, whatever, Guitar Center, Sweetwater, whatever. But really nothing beats that experience, because you know exactly what you're buying, so that you're not throwing your money out on something that you might not like. And so I appreciate this, because finally something is happening to the in-store experience that is hopefully going to lift it up, as opposed to, you know, because improving an in-store experience is a lot harder, right? Improving an in-store experience is much harder than improving a website UI, UX experience. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. I appreciate that it's the case. I think one of the things that comes with in-store experience is still the human touch. So if this is by any means is gonna, you know, take their focus away from actually training their staff, I don't think that's a good thing. Because at the end of the day, like when you go to a store, a lot of people still like McDonald's, right? You go to McDonald's and they got the self-serve checkouts and you can order whatever there. But even in a scenario like that, when you want to pick, you know, get your burger, you still get it from a person, still, as of now. So, you know, a lot of people go into the store, like, want to have a personal interaction with a human being. And so this is not going to replace training your staff, is what I'm trying to say. Sirach says, have you heard of that Spark amplifier? It has an AI feature where you describe what sound you want, and it pairs amp pedals that replicate the sound you described. No, I haven't heard of that. Really? So you give it a prompt, you type a prompt, and it gives you a sound? I think Steve Vai has his own model from Spark. Sirach, is that what you meant? That's spooky, yeah. And it's supposed to set up a sound for that. Interesting, okay. Let's check it out. Suhr says, can't you do the stream 1 weekday 2 sometime? I think us guitar and music fans learn a lot and enjoy these streams from you. Ah, thanks, dude. Yeah, definitely can do that. Let me figure out what day works best. Because as you know, as a fellow person that does 2 jobs, you get the point. But yeah, I can definitely do that, dude. I would love to do that. I have so much fun on these streams. I learn a lot from you guys. I think the more the merrier, in all honesty. Like, let me think about it, and I'll announce it. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Appreciate you, dude. That was a great suggestion. I'll do it. Okay. Okay. I hear you. All right. Let me go here. Spark Amps AI. Give me a segundo. Let me see if I can find that. All right. All right, here we are. Yeah. Suhr says, you just want to grow your channel, you clever boy. Wow. That got out of hand real quick. Dude, can I tell you something about growing the channel? I've been making YouTube videos since 2022. I started on April 1st, like April Fool's Day, right? On April 1st, 2022. So it's been almost 3.5 years rather. If you constantly look, and I can say it from my experience in the past 3.5 years, if you constantly look at the growth metrics, you get clinically depressed. I'm not lying to you when I say that. Because sometimes, like, you spend hours. There were videos I've spent hours on making and editing. And it's like 30 views on that video. And then you got a video that, you were just hanging out, and it's just a snippet of us hanging out. And then that thing gets a lot of views. If you think about those metrics all the time, you get depressed. And at least for me over the past 3.5 years. So what I learned was to just do what I like to do and what I love and have fun doing it. And hopefully you guys get to have fun with me doing it. Because for me, you can see me. Like, it's all laugh and jokes and, athleticism, electric guitar. It's all that. But my gosh, I gotta tell you, dude. If there's one thing I learned in this 3.5 year journey so far, is that it's not a good idea just mentally to worry about that growth that you're talking about. Sirach says, all right, guys, was nice chatting. I'm going to grab some food. Have a good night. Subscribe. Firm handshake, Sirach. Good to see you, pal. Enjoy your food. Have a good sleep. Have a good night. Dream of electric guitars, okay? Don't dream of all the other random stuff. And I'll see you around. I'll see you next week. Or if I can figure out, I'll take Suhr's suggestion. I'll find a slot in the middle of the week to stream there as well. But if not, I'll probably will. But if not, I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself, dude. Be well. Now, one thing I wish I went through this earlier before Sirach left. He talked about Spark AI, which is the AI thingy. So yeah, it's like apparently there is an app. You put your prompt in the amp, in the app on your phone, and then you sync it to your amp, I think. The Spark AI beta, designed to help guitar players worldwide find their dream tone. Just tell Spark AI what you're aiming for and let it do hard work. So describe your tone. Simply tell Spark AI the tone of your favorite artist, band, or song. Describe it in your own words, how you want it to feel, sound, and even the mood. So I want a tone that sounds like When I Come Around by Green Day. And then it goes like, here's your presets. Okay. And then you explore the options. Right. Okay, so they've got some amp cab presets. And then you describe what you want, and it'll pick up the right preset and then fine tunes that preset for you. The more you interact with it, the smarter it gets. It learns from your preferences, refines a suggestion, making an excellent starting point. That's so interesting, dude. That is so interesting. You want to get inspired with some tones from other genres? Dive into the... You know what would have made it? Don't you? Yeah, you know what would have made it even more interesting? That you tell it what it want. You tell it what you want, and then you play some notes on your guitar, like just clean. Then it'll analyze your guitar tone, because everyone got different pickups and guitars, they all sound different. It analyzes the tone of your guitar, and then fine tunes the existing presets to give you exactly what you want. That would have made it interesting, which I won't be surprised like in 3 years if we get that kind of feature. Won't be surprised. Don't you also need the physical features in the amp? Yeah, so it gets connected to an amp. So the amp can emulate any most band sounds. I get your point. You may be right. I'm not so sure. Because like think of it like a modeler, like a Quad Cortex or Line 6 modeler. You have your pedal, you have your amp, and you have your cabinet modelers, right? So really all you need to do now is just to connect that to any PA system. You don't need an actual cabinet to get the sound out because you already got the cap modeler sitting in your effect chain. Obviously, every speaker PA system is going to sound different. Every cabinet is going to sound different. But it seems to me like if you got an amp and a cap modeler there, all you need is just a PA. So your cabinet, your amp, just has to be able to produce like enough frequencies with enough loudness, just like any PA system. You know what I mean? Because you've already done the heavy lifting before you get to the sound out, before you get to the output, before you even get to the amp. All the heavy lifting with tone and all that jazz is already sorted out. It's already done. I guess the way it works, it can give you its closest copy of a Marshall 80s without actually being a Marshall 80. Yeah, exactly. Like all these presets that it got, like what is it called? Plexiglass, for example. Like this, won't be surprised at all if this is a Marshall based, because usually because of like trademark they can't use the exact same name, but the color, they kind of color it the same way to give it the same vibe. Won't be surprised if that's that. Won't be surprised if this is Randall. You know, there's probably a preset for Mesa Boogie. So you're 100% right. You're 100% right. I agree with you. That's interesting, huh? That's really interesting. It's like a mini amp. SL0100. That's probably Soldano. And then you got your and then on the amp itself, you got a bunch of like knobs to, you know, add some effects and bass and mid and treble and all that jazz. This is orange. This is obviously an orange preset. So yeah, Zuhair, you're 100% right. Yeah. Nuno has a Spark too as well. Hold on, let's hear it. Somewhere in California. So you can hear so much of the attack, the pick attack. Yeah, his picking is so spot on. Like the attack, the gunk that you hear. Plot twist. Oh my god. Right. That's interesting. Yeah, you're right, dude. Like Nuno is so good with his picking hand, like his synchronicity between the hands, that he's not afraid to get the audience to hear that gunk and that attack. That's how good he is. Because a lot of times, like the artists hide that, right? The ones, especially the ones that don't have like strong right hand. His right hand, his picking is so on point that he's not afraid to make his rig minimalistic and just get people to just hear that gunk and that hit. That's what makes him so unique. Like he's skilled. If you look at his rig, his rig is so minimalistic. So he still he hardly uses anything. Like his rig is mostly just direct to amp. Like he does like a couple of pedals there, but he's just so good that he doesn't hide it. He's like, yeah, no, this is how I play. You can hear the gunk, right? Love that guy. He's so good. Where are we? Yeah. So yeah, that was the that's the Spark. So how much is the Spark 2? I wonder. Let's check it out. So how much is it like on Sweetwater? Spark 2 AI, huh? So Spark 2 amp. Okay. Here we go. $300. Oops. Go back. $300. Yeah, I mean, not bad for an amp. Especially considering the fact that, you can get different sounds out of it. Like a small, same size Marshall amp or Orange amp or Roland rather, around the same prices. So it's not that different in terms of its pricing, I guess. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. And here we go. Now, I wanted to, let's move on to the next item on the docket, but there was this one thing I wanted to share with everybody. There was this beautiful story. So as you guys know, the inevitable happened and Ozzy Osbourne passed away, 3 days ago, which was like, which is so insane. He did his last show with Sabbath like 3 weeks ago. We covered it here, on the channel, and he passed away, and it's inevitable. We all do. And I love him for what he's done for the metal community. I read the story online and I thought, because everyone always talks about Ozzy Osbourne's craziness and his antics and all that. And a lot of people like myself talked about, you know, how he created the template for heavy metal music as it is today and his importance, but no one really talks about this angle of this aspect of Ozzy Osbourne. So I read this story and I thought it would be nice to share. It's a positive, nice story, and I really liked it. So I thought maybe we should share it. So let me share it with you guys. Hold on. This is the story. And again, I just love the positivity of it. And maybe this is the aspect of Ozzy Osbourne not many people talk about. So Frank Sidoris shares this story. So he basically went and did audition for Ozzy's band. That's before they took in Zakk Wylde. And he was very well treated by Ozzy, basically, is the gist of the story. So it is obvious to me why you've already had success. Frank Sidoris shares heartwarming rejection letter he received from Ozzy Osbourne after auditioning to be his solo guitarist. So paying tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, who died earlier this week at the age of 76, Slash guitarist Frank Sidoris, so he's a part of Slash's band now, has shared a rejection letter he received when auditioning to be Ozzy's guitarist in 2017. Back in 2017, Black Sabbath's The End reunion tour was just finishing up, and Ozzy felt inspired to hit the road solo. This involved searching for a new guitarist, and as Sidoris recalls in a now expired Instagram story, I was invited to Ozzy's home to perform 2 songs for him to audition for his band. The audition, it turned out, was rather up close and personal. So we loaded up my amp, guitar, etc. into his movie theater, and I played Mama, I'm Coming Home and Diary of a Madman while he sat about 10 feet away from a very loud amp at his request. Really trying to replicate the live thing, huh? He sang every word over me, playing at concert volume, which was comforting and hilarious, as it was just him and I in the room with his assistant. Can I say something? It's so like, again, speaks to the experience of the man and his mastery over his craft. Because when you do things at larger volumes, dynamics change, sounds change, playing changes. Even your pickup opens up differently at larger volumes. So it just speaks to the expertise of the guy. In addition to, replicating exactly how it's going to feel and sound like on the stage with the guy, so you can get an accurate understanding of, him as a guitar player. So anyways, ultimately, Sidoris didn't get the job. That went to Ozzy's tried and tested guitarist Zakk Wylde, who had played alongside the Prince of Darkness for years. Perhaps feeling guilty about his decision, Ozzy wrote Sidoris a rejection letter. I don't think he felt guilty. I think he respected him. I don't think a man like that would feel guilty about saying no to a guitar player. It's like a job interview, right? I think he just respected him a lot, and he liked his playing. He said, Frank, I wanted to thank you for coming by to play for me and taking the time to learn my songs. You are a talented musician, and it's obvious to me why you've already had success in this business at a young age. I've decided to work with Zakk, writing and recording my next studio album, as well as playing guitar on my upcoming tour dates this summer. Zakk has been with me a long time, and I know that having him play with me is something my fans really want to see. Yeah, that's a nice thing to say. I wish you continued success. God bless, Ozzy. The letter was signed by Ozzy and featured a cartoon of him carrying a large cross that reads Ozzy in the bottom right-hand corner. That's nice. Suhr says, Ozzy Osbourne's life was perfect, did what he wanted all his life, supportive wife and family, loved by all, left doing his last show. Yeah, I agree with you, dude. I completely agree with you. He's one of the examples of people that just lives the life in his own terms. like his own way. Isn't that the dream? Like, I don't care what anyone, like, I don't care what, everybody has like different interests and, you know, lifestyle and whatever. But isn't that the dream, to be able to live your life in your own terms? My gosh. Isn't that the dream? Just do what you want, how you want it, when you want it. And we're all gonna pass away, right? You know who else is like that? Joe Rogan. Like, talks with people for a living and then commentate fights that he so loves, and then makes people laugh. Like, as like his package, I don't care if people like, some people like him, some people don't. I don't even care about like his podcast or what he says or whatever not, but he's like, just does what he wants in his sphere, you know what I mean? Life's so short, it's almost unfair. Yeah, dude. So true. So true. You know, you gotta ask yourself, like, sometimes I ask myself, and the answer is depressing. But sometimes I ask myself, like, if I pass away tomorrow, on my deathbed, do I think right now I'm living my life in a fulfilled fashion? Like, am I happy with, you know? And that's a deep question to ask yourself. You know, if you ever end up asking yourself something like that, like, you know, am I, like, if I know I'm going to pass away tomorrow, how am I going to feel about my life today? And sometimes the answer that I get really gets me like, back to work. Or sometimes like, screw it, back to bed, you know? But it's a deep question to ask yourself. And I do that. But yeah, that's like it's crazy, man. The guy just lived how he wanted and exactly everything in his own term. Everything in his own term. What can I say? All right, there was like a couple of lines, couple of things I just wanted to have about, where was that page? Yeah, there we go. Never mind. Yeah. So that's crazy. The guy, like, that's the kind of guy that like does whatever he wants. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about this. So is it because one of the obstacles for us to live the way we want in our own terms is like other obligations, other people's expectations sometimes, and all that. This is a guy that bit a bat on the stage, you know? Like, that's not a kind of guy that would ask for permission or care about anyone's permission or opinion or something like that. What I always wondered is if everybody started to do that, like we all decided that one day, you know what, screw it, we're just going to do whatever we want. Will it at some point, will other people in our life at some point get sort of like normalized to it, like their expectation level changes, and so then it becomes easier to do it? I always wondered. Ozzy Osbourne obviously got a supportive wife. That's a gem, right? That's like a very that's like a thing that like matters a lot. Like one of the top 3 things that matters in life, I think, is to get a supportive life partner, right? So that helps a lot. There's no question about it. But I wonder, man, like you break enough rules, and then the expectation of everybody is that you're going to break any rules, so they just leave you alone and let you do whatever you want to do. Sometimes make me wonder, maybe that is the way to go, as opposed to, you know, navigating it, I guess. Suhr is like, I think the world is or tends to always be in balance. Good point. Good point. All right. All right. I've got one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. And this is the thing that we made a video about it not that long ago. So I'm going to briefly touch it. And then if anyone is keen to get more details on that, you can watch the video. But there was this is the metal guitar of the year that I want to talk to you guys about. I'm calling it. It is the metal guitar of the year. And I don't want to even argue about it, okay? So if you're ready, let's get to it. Look who's there. Doroteo, what's happening? How you doing? So, Suhr, before you go, I'm not sure if you've seen it. So, check this out. Let's just check out this metal guitar of the year. And this is going to take like 2 minutes. I've already made a full video about it. I'm not going to, get you all through everything right now. Doing good. That's good to hear, dude. Now, let's talk about the metal guitar of the year. You guys ready? What is that? Take cover! Ay, ay. Ow. Sorry, guys. Somebody just threw a grenade again at the stream. Sorry, guys. I had to run for my life for a second. Of course, the PRS. Boo. What do you mean? What do you mean, boo? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ay, ay, ay. It is honestly, dude, because boo. Boo your guitars. I will personally guarantee that on the next stream, Doroteo, we will talk about a Chapman guitar. How does that sound? How about you tell me, what is it? I take my Ibanez RG Prestige Japanese made over that PRS any day. Like this one? We talked about this, by the way. This was the first guitar we talked about on the stream. But you give me your favorite Chapman guitar. You give me the favorite model because you're into Chapman, okay? And we'll talk about it, I promise. But I'm calling it. This guitar is going to kill. Metal guitar of the year. Mine's different. Yours different? Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to say, I'm not going to cover this in detail because I've done already a video on it. So for those who are interested to talk about the specs of this, and there's different colors, by the way. The video is on my channel. Check it out. The interesting thing I found about this guitar was the fact that PRS started to use mango as their top wood. And I've never seen a guitar made out of mango by PRS. And it comes in different colors too. So if you're interested to check it out, I'll put the link in the description, or you can just go to my channel and see it. It's called, Mark Holcomb's Signature PRS. So it's the core US made model. And it's made from mango. I'll just show you this. And I said I'm not going to go through too much detail. PRS guitars. I'll just show you like the pattern of this and do that. Suhr said, we'll check it out later. Bro, signing off. All right, good night, brother. Take care of yourself. Rest well. And I'll catch you sometime middle of the week or next week. Take care of yourself. Bye, Suhr. So, briefly, before I sign off, this is how this guitar looks like. And mango looks insane. And also the tonal characteristic of it is very mid-heavy. I'll just say this and I'll leave it there. If anyone's interested, I'll show you where you can find it. Hold on. If anybody is interested, where's my, there we go. Hold on. Give me a second, guys, okay? Don't get upset. Dorothea's like, PRS, boo. If anyone's interested, this white and blue thumbnail, Mark Holcomb Court 2025, that's the video that I made reviewing the guitar first and then comparing and contrasting it with the two PRS SE Holcomb models that I've got, because I got the SE models at home with the same pickups. And I compare and contrast it there. So if you guys want to check it out, Dorothea obviously won't even go near it. But you can check it out. So, hold on. And now, I said to Dorothea, before I sign off, I am going to show Dorotheo's Chapman guitar. You know what? Go back to share the screen. Hold on. Chapman ML1 Pro, made in Korea. We're going to quickly check this before we go. And I promise I'll do a full review of that if you're into it, Dorotheo. Is it this guitar? Is that the one? Dorotheo's PRSs are good, nice, but don't feel good in my hands. Yeah, that's fair enough, dude. That's more than fair. You know, guitars are very, like, what is it called? Are very individual preference kind of things, right? But yeah. Oh, so that's not your guitar. Okay. What is the call? That's your guitar. Ah, that's the Aqua guitar that I see you play. That's that Aqua guitar that I saw on your channel. Is that the one? I'm pretty sure that's the one. You're talking about the one that you played with. Tell me. That's the one. Yeah. The Aqua guitar with the roasted maple neck. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty sure. But yeah, I'll put it in our, mine's an aqua and oh, yours is an aqua and purple. I thought that was the aqua one that I saw on your channel, dude. Aqua and purple. Like this? Or it's aqua and then purple, so two guitars. I think that's what you meant. So, because I remember the aqua, I vaguely remember the aqua that you played on in one of your videos that I saw. So it's probably this and then a purple one. Wow, so you liked it a lot. You bought two of them, didn't you? Let's review it. Let's review the specs. On the next stream, I'll put it on the agenda, and we'll cover that together. Yeah. So yeah, just we'll cover that together. Anyways, all right, guys, I've been on I think for about more than a couple hours now. We are going to call it a day. I'm gonna sign off. But with that being said, you guys have a great weekend. Remember, it's the weekend. Pick up that guitar, play it, have fun. And just live, man. Like Ozzy Osbourne we were talking about. Living the life in your own terms. But yeah. Let's do it. So, with that being said, everybody, have a great weekend. And I'll catch you next week. Or in the middle of the week, in fact. Baby. Oh, baby. You guys, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week. Mwah!